All right. Thank you, Jaden, for sharing your speech with us. You actually had a couple questions from the form that was released in the newsletter for people wanting to ask questions, not in person. So your first question was, what will you do to create an environment conducive to both the social aspect of TroyFi as well as the political/outside community aspect?
I think this year we kind of learned that mixing the two spaces kind of made it so the people who like the social aspect didn't really like the mixed space, and also the people in the advocacy space didn't really like the mixing. So I kind of plan to help the respective e-boarders for those positions, so like socials or community outreach, to create their own spaces, whether it be finding rooms to have their events like the movie screening we had last week, or to help socials create events outside of just doing parties, like going out to do field trips like you did with your leadership board.
Yes, thank you. We also had one more question from the form. You touched on this a little bit in your speech, but this person asked, the president position is one that is super versatile. What do you hope to achieve in your term as president?
I hope to achieve a TP that's more um, equipped to kind of handle a larger body of students. I think every year we've been seeing a growth, um, and we're kind of in that in-between period where we're not as big as USC, so we can't have separate club, or UCLA, I mean, so we can't have separate clubs for every facet that we want to tackle. But we're also too big to have just one person handling um, all of the kind of spaces that need to be created. So I kind of want to act as that bridge to kind of pick up any slack that occurs when someone's trying to organize events or try to kind of just plan out the whole year.
Great, thank you for sharing. All right, so those were the two questions that we had from the form. If anyone in person wants to go ahead and ask.
Hi, Jaden. I hope the DoubleTree has been treating you well. My question for you is a big issue this year was a lot of members not knowing one another. So as president, I know that's not your direct responsibility, but how do you plan on addressing this?
I think it's going to kind of really come down to working with programming and making sure their events like retreat or even just the COPPA program kind of hits all the targets we needed to. So whether it be reaching all the members that are interested or kind of just helping create those smaller non-official spaces. So finding a way to create a group, because as we all kind of saw, Facebook isn't really working out as much this year, and GroupMe's kind of, even though it kind of it gets the message across, I think everyone still kind of looks at it like a place they message people for classes, and it kind of feels a little too official. So just kind of finding that balance of kind of non-official hangouts and really making sure our official spaces are reaching the people it needs to reach.
Thank you, Jaden. All right, does anyone else have questions?
Yes. Hi, Jaden.
Hey, Charles.
So knowing the weight and responsibility of being president, I just want to know, like, for next year as a senior, what if you have any like other commitments or what you have planned with your schedule and balancing the position.
So for senior year right now, it's kind of just looking like it's just going to be TP. Like right now, I'm trying to get a research paper out. So as long as I finish that during the summer, then I'm out of that research lab. Like we're not staying. I'm not going to start another project. Like once the paper's out, we're done. Like I'm not even a pre-med student anymore. I kind of just want to get the paper. So yeah, so once senior year comes around, it's just going to be classes and TP. So you guys will definitely get my undivided attention.
Thank you, Jaden. We have time for one more quick question, if anyone has one. Go ahead.
Get in here, Moose.
Hi, Jaden. Good job. I had a question about your plans for Eboard. So when creating and maintaining a good and strong Eboard that's well communicated, what are your plans to do that? And also, how do you plan to prevent burnout from your Eboarders?
I think one of the hardest parts about this year was kind of coming back to an in-person setting. A lot of people weren't. It's kind of hard to expect people to be comfortable communicating their work in front of a room of like 30 people, whether it be like the interns, leadership board, plus Eboard. So I really want to kind of increase my involvement just on a personal level with each e-boarder, just so if they feel they're behind on their work, but they don't want to talk to board about that and kind of have everyone rush to their aid and be coddled. I want to be the one to kind of just help them out in that sort of way, just pick up their slack. And then just past that, I want to keep more up to date with eBoard, just not doing more like meetups just because I don't think people don't need more meetings on top of their classes each week, but kind of just informal text messages asking them where they're at with their projects or their events, or if they have any events they envision and if they need any help planning that event out.
All right. Thank you so much for your thoughtful answers, Jaden, and for your speech. That was awesome.
Good job, Jaden.
Thank you.
Good job, Jaden.